I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
He is terrible!
We gotta know how many wieners are going down these dudes' throats.
I'm gonna go quick because I don't give a fuck about anything that's gonna happen on Saturday.
Hello, boys! We're back for another edition of the MMA-analysis podcast. I think we got a lot to talk about this week. First things first, Wes, I feel like we've had some bad luck with some of our better consensus plays that they just never make it. The fights just never seem to happen, right? They get canceled. What is up with that?
Yeah, and on top of it, it seems like the bet that's like right behind it is like hits easily. You know, the second or third bet that we talk about and narrow it down to the one that usually doesn't go through. Like last week, I think we all like this certain well-hung individual.
Yeah.
In the main event, and we a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? And a really nice line, and it just doesn't happen, man. But
sometimes,
you know, that hurt of the MMA Twitter people that you'll probably talk about later. They'll give us another good line. You better bet on that.
Yeah, why even waste any time? Why even sugarcoat it? New Sean, what do you have to say to the Twitter nerds that really pushed that Darren Till line to a favorite against the well-hung individual that Wes alluded to?
I would just like to say thank you for being exactly what you are, is what a Twitter nerd. Trying to find this great white hype and just pushing one of, if not the best welterweight ever to plus money. And Till just got dummied. It was hilarious. I ended up having 4 units on Woodley when it went to like plus 125. I played some juice because I got it early at like minus 150, so I was just happy to keep adding.
Good live with yourself.
Yeah, I just beautiful. Thank you, Twitter nerds. I very much appreciated you catching the great white hype.
Hey, imagine when he fights Kobe. Imagine that great white hype and all the real MMA Twitter nerds that are going to come in on it. We liable to get 2-1 on Woodley in that fight. Just imagine.
Hey, Twitter nerds, another message for you. Another message for you. This is 2 events in a row. I think it's 2 events in a row now where you've gone for your lovely main event fighters, making guys who shouldn't be favorites once again. Your stupid James Vick, apologist, against another guy who can't even parent or doesn't even want to be a parent to his own kid.
Deadbeat dad. Deadbeat dad.
You're trying to make money off a deadbeat dad. And you know what? If he won, you should have paid his deadbeat bills. But instead, you freaking Twitter nerds lose again. Losing, and losing. You can update your Cap Protect records. You can update your bet MMA tips, whatever .io, .com, .net.
Haven't updated your websites yet, though. Not the official websites.
How about when you hear this, once you're not on tape delay, you update your little websites, update your little records that once again you lost on your long, gangly white hypes, and again you lose.
Punch. Didn't land a significant strike.
Didn't land the punch. Embarrassed, got KO'd, whatever it was, a few weeks ago in Omaha. Stupid James Vick. Trying for a takedown 5 minutes after he got KO'd. And then you got Darren Till getting submitted by a guy who, what has he got, 1 submission win in his entire career. Just embarrassing, Twitter nerds. Keep on, though.
We love it at the MMA analysis. Keep on.
We've reached the fall season. We're in football season. Let's see what you got in store during football season. So it's going to be fun. You win money, doing the good old Ben fade on Sundays and Mondays. And then you win Twitter nerds. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, PayPal me $10. I'll give you some inside info. Follow Ben the Better and fade everything he plays.
And if he wins one, double up the next one because you know he's losing the next one.
And then take those winnings and fade the Twitter nerds. Yep. It's simple. It's a simple formula. You don't have to pay a cent for it. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you again, Twitter nerds. In better news, there's some rumors out there.
Yeah.
Jonathan Dwight could be returning. The GOAT, Wes, what do you think?
Man, they're playing with my emotions. I believe it when I see it, man. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of who I wanted to see Bones against anyway. I don't think it's ever going to happen again. And
Brock Lesnar.
Man, I wanted to see him knock out Fat Boy again. I mean, we know what he would do to Brock, but yeah, man. I mean, I think the sport is a little worse off when you don't have just that draw, that name, man. I mean, the numbers just came out that the prelims, were literally the lowest, one of the lowest ever, dude, for a pay-per-view on what were they on? FS1 again?
No, it was on FX.
But it's still some of the lowest numbers ever. And I mean, the fights have been like, I don't think we can deny that the cards have been fantastic over the past few months.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really ask for more. I mean, the matchmaking has been good. The cards have been pretty stacked from top to bottom. And, I mean, it's just doing some of the lowest numbers ever. And you just, you only have a few names, man, that actually move the needle big time. And I mean, Bones is one. However you think about it, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of fucking people on Twitter let a lot more slide for guys that they like than what they are all over John Jones for. And I mean, even if you don't like that shit, he served a penalty. I mean, the dude's been out for a long while, man. He's served some serious penalties for the dumb shit he does, and I mean, he probably should. But it's time to let him come back and compete, man. And I'll say it for the 1,000th time. Don't give me shit about steroids and all this shit. Everybody does steroids, and steroids do not, like John Jones tweeted out that tweet of the girl head kicking old girl knocking her out. He's like, I bet it was a steroid. Steroids don't teach you how to throw a kick like that, motherfucker. So yeah. Well, I'd love to get to go back.
I think it would be great. It's always a pleasure to watch the greatest fighter of all time at his craft. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Any other little tidbits we want to talk about before we jump into last week's card? Or
the Usman is reported to be fighting RDA at the last tough finale card on.
Ali shoot down.
Yeah, well, I don't listen to Ali.
So. Yeah.
Oh, terrorist?
I'll believe a Brazilian reporter before I listen to a terrorist.
Yeah, you can't believe a thing that dude says.
So that'll be a good matchup. Kind of tough for RDA to go back to back against Colby and Usman, but
they really hate him, don't they?
I think he's in trouble against Usman, man. That's a bad matchup for RDA.
Yeah, it's the same matchup.
They gotta get Usman somewhat of a name though to get him right there. I mean, I think Usman's probably next. I mean, he should be fighting the winner of Kobe Woodley if that fight ends up happening. I would think.
I just think nobody wants. There's nobody really for Usman to fight. Nobody wants to fight him. So I guess you got to fight RDA off a loss.
Yeah, RDA will fight just about anybody. I'll give that dude that, and we can see that here because, like you said, man, but he might be the most duck fighter in fighting.
Yep.
Like nobody wants to know that dude.
Well, there's a few guys. Zabit's one of them.
Yeah, he's becoming one. That's for sure.
There's a few guys. There's definitely a few guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Tyson Loff is another. He's on this card. There's a few.
Yep.
There's some respect to Brandon Davis for stepping up on that fight against Zabit, man. That dude apparently had like a bulging disc in his back and shit like a week before the fight, like on short notice.
Medical bills.
And I mean, yeah, but dude, that dude scrapped with Zabit pretty good, man. So Props to him, dude.
Speaking of Zabit, I guess that makes it time to kind of get into this card. So, definitely some interesting results, especially on these preliminary fights. 4 Fight Pass fights. Jared Brooks, awful start against Roberto Sanchez. Then, wins the last 2 rounds to win a decision, but somehow one of the 3 judges thought Sanchez won one of those final 2 rounds. Not sure how that's possible. Irene Aldana, this was a good one for a bantamweight fight. Split decision win over Pudilova. Just a classic striking contest. Then we got to see some weird. Jimmy Miller, one of Jersey's finest. Yeah, one-sided affair over Alex White. Wins by sub. That was impressive. And then,
my boy.
And then, rocks for brains. Diego Sanchez looks like an F minus on the feet, but was only on his feet for about 10 seconds every round, and then just held out old Craig White, who had, Craig White was like a fish flopping on land. Oh, it was brutal on the ground. Diego Sanchez gets his first win in God knows how long in the UFC. Unbelievable. Wes, let's start with you. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I don't much of the Brooks fight, but that's a terrible card again, man.
That is a really bad. I mean,
yeah.
How did someone get paid to do this? How?
I don't know. And it's like last week, man, or what? Yeah, it was the week before. There was that one ref that literally had a 10-8 card, and it ended up being on the or not.
That had to be incorrectly scored, right?
It was. Yeah, he came out later. It's on the Suarez fight later on. He gave a 10-8 to Esparza in the first fucking round.
That's what.
And it came out, and he said he got it wrong. Like later, but like, dude, what the fuck though? Like, you're that inept.
These guys get paid 4 figures. 4 figures to go there. They probably get their flights paid for. I imagine they do, and they're scoring fights, and they don't even know which place to mark their numbers. Holy shit! I'll do that job. I'll do that. That's easy.
They found that guy on Twitter, dude, and holy shit, man, he looked like some kind of basement dweller, dude, that took some kind of online course or something, man.
Does he give football picks out?
Probably. He's a weekday tout and a fucking weekend MMA fucking judge.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. That's bad, dude. Like you said, those guys get paid like $1,500, a couple grand a card to go judge fights. Flights, hotel. I mean,
they're not even judging every fight. They're probably doing like 4 or 5 fights on a card. I mean, holy shit! This is not rocket science here. Woof.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Then the Donna Pudilova fight, man. That's even Lance couldn't bitch about that fight, right? Like seriously, like even he couldn't have a problem with that fight. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, man. I thought Pudilova won, but I bet her. So I was a little biased, but it was a great fight. Jimmy fucking Miller, man. I was pretty big on Alex White, man, and that was stupid. Like it, complete moron. Happy for Jimmy Miller, though, man. There's
few dudes.
There's few dudes in this sport that's as good as a good dude like Jim Miller, man. So I couldn't be happier to lose some money. Then my boy Diego, man, like right plus 200 against some dude, a British dude with British wrestling. I know I said on last week's show, man, I know he's applesauce brains, but if he can take this dude down and grind on him, he'll win the fight, and that's what he did. 2-1. I appreciate it. Applesauce brain. What's crazy though is this dude talking all that wild galaxy brain shit after the fight, talking like I train different and I'm not punch drunk. I can't be punch drunk and all this crazy shit. Dude's punch drunk. Like seriously, just because Diego grinded on a guy and won a tough fight, it doesn't mean he should still be fighting by any means.
Yeah, new Sean. I mean, you got to think Diego Sanchez is a pretty good He'd be a pretty good, someone should let him, like, when he talks to Rogan, like, just, like, recommend, hey, dude, you could use some of that alpha brain. That would probably be helpful to kind of get those brain cells back, right?
Yeah, he needs even something better than alpha brain. I don't know. He needs some stem cells injected directly into his brain.
I'm sure Data can work on that.
I got crushed on the prelim card on the fight.
Oh, ugly.
I went 0-4 on bets. That was good. I took a half shot on Roberto Sanchez, and even I didn't. I think that was a clear cut decision. Like I had no chance on that. I didn't watch the women's fight because I'm an asshole. So that is what it is. And like Wes, I was on Alex White inside the distance, and of course that just got dusted in a minute and a half. Nice job by Jim Miller there. And then I had the Diego Sanchez Craig White fight to finish inside the distance, and that wasn't really close at all. Diego still got rocked a couple times with some up kicks and even some shots on the feet, but I don't know. I guess we'll get to fade him one more time against someone that, as long as somebody can stuff a takedown, they'll destroy Diego. So we got to look for that next
Hit him
time.
once or twice.
Yep.
Just got to land one or two punches, like legitimately one or two. He's done. Like that guy's just wasted, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, even in that fight, he caught a couple that, I can't believe he's still alive, dude. I figured he'd be brain dead by now.
Televised portion of the card. Charles Byrd was winning this fight for about 7 minutes. Then Darren Stewart landed a pretty damn good elbow, and a few more punches later, Darren Stewart won. Wes, what happened here?
Yeah, I mean, Byrd looked really good, man. Like, stand-up looked good, man. He fought off a couple, not really takedowns, but some grappling up against the cage, man. Circled out, was looking real good, man. And then he landed a couple elbows. Actually, landed one that kind of stumbled him, and man, he landed another one, and it was just over. He looked drunk, dude. That was the start of some just insane finishes on this card, man. Like that. Yeah, that was fun, and it was just the beginning of just an amazing card, man.
Nushan, thoughts here, or move on?
Just a nice comeback. Byrd, I think, even rocked Stewart at least once, and credit to Darren Stewart. He is shitty, but he landed some nice elbows and finished it up.
I'll say this next fight, this one really stood out to me. I think this was there was several standout performances on the card, but I think this one takes the cake. Man, Jeff Neal. I'm a believer.
Clean.
Yeah, I mean, Camacho's looked like he's been a really tough out in the past. I think it didn't look like that here as much, but I think that's more on Jeff Neal. Man, I mean, he looked good, dude. I think we need to see a little bit more, but man, 28 years old, he looked really good, dude. And that was sick, man. It wasn't just that, dude. I mean, he was landing a jab, just a straight right, just so crisp. He looked really good, man, against a guy that's usually tough. And I mean, the finish was just all time. I mean, it was Camacho just literally walks out almost Sparta-like, and it was like seconds later, blam, and he's just folded like a cheap-ass lawn chair, dude. It was sweet, dude. And, yeah, just the second of, like, some great finishes, man. Great card.
Nushan, what did you think? What do we got? What do you expect from Jeff Neal moving forward?
You obviously gotta temper it a bit because it was against Frank Camacho.
Don't hate.
No, I'm saying, like, his striking looked really, really clean. He looked patient in there, and wow, just unbelievable striking. But it was against Frank Camacho, who's a very, very limited fighter, but damn, still flatlining that guy is very impressive. So I'm excited to see what Jeff Neal has next. So that'll be a good time because damn, that was a clean knockout, and the striking before that was super clean.
Whoa. BJ Penn is booked for a fight coming up
Oh yeah, he is. He's fucking motivated.
against
baby.
Ryan Hall.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is going to be a grappling fight. BJ doesn't want to get hit. This is sneaky.
That's the only reason he would come back is to go against a jiu-jitsu guy. Well, man, how sad will it be if Ryan Hall somehow knocks out BJ Penn?
Very.
I give up on this fucking sport.
I mean, that's a fight. Could he win even if he's not motivated?
Oh,
I don't think BJ can beat anybody now, man. I don't know. I mean, look, we just saw Diego do some shit, and even Jim Miller. But it's like, but those guys stay active and stay in the gym and literally train. It's still every day of their lives. BJ is literally out doing 1,000 different things. Like, I feel like fighting. Gets in the gym for fucking 6 weeks and tries to fight a guy. That just ain't gonna work at this point, man. You know, just even give yourself a little bit of a shot. You know, man, I'm not gonna be able to watch it, dude. I'm not gonna be able to watch this butt scooting ass motherfucker beat one of my favorite fighters ever, dude. I probably won't even be able to watch that fight. It's just sickening, man. Ryan fucking Hall,
the human backpack, is gonna beat BJ Penn in 2018.
Dude, please let BJ pull off a miracle. If it's against any motherfucker, dude, like seriously, it's got to be this guy, right?
It's got to be.
Man, Jesus, come on, BJ, be motivated.
Oh.
In a battle of prospects, it looks like the New Yorker got the best of Cody Stamann. I don't think we're going to be seeing Cody Stamann for a while after being submitted via knee bar, second round. Good win for Sterling, who's now beaten Brett Johns. And Cody Stamann back-to-back. We'll start with Sean. What do you think? How bad is it for Stamann?
Ooh, that did not look good, that's for sure. That was a hell of a submission. I'd never seen that before myself. I don't know enough about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to be like, why doesn't that happen more? Because I feel like guys do that, but they never pull that off. Like they shrug guys off the back, but Aljo looked pretty good. The takedown defense was there. Obviously, it was tough to take down Cody Stamann, but his kicks have been continually getting better and better, and he was throwing a couple good hooks after his kicks too. So nice to see Sterling to keep on getting better and better with his striking, and his grappling is pretty damn high up there in the bantamweight division. So. He almost pulled off that full Nelson again, and then he grabbed a sweet knee bar. So, good performance for Aljamain Sterling.
Wes, anything to say here, or?
Yeah, I just we talked about it last week on the show, man. I didn't want to give up on Sterling yet, man. I thought that was a really good comeback win against a guy I think is really good in Brett Johns, and I think Cody Stamann is still pretty good, man. That was some slick shit from Aljo, man, and that guy's good. He's still so young. He's going to be competing up there for top 5 spots and titles still. I'm still a believer in Aljo, big time.
Televised headliner. I think we've seen the emergence of a new contender at women's strawweight. This is an absolute one-sided beating by Tatiana Suarez over former champion Carlos Esparza. Wes, I know you've been high on the Suarez for some time, basically, since we saw her on Tough. Can she go all the way?
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, like she's legit, man, and it ain't just like this top game of laying on. I mean, did you see what the hell she did to Carla's face? Like, that's
master.
She doesn't.
Those are mauling. Those are Habib-like mauling.
Yeah, that's who she is, man, and women's MMA, like straight up, dude. She is no joke. I don't know who is stopping that takedown, man. It's not just a double. She has single leg takedowns. I mean, she's got a variety of ways to get people to the mat, man. And you see when she does, holy shit, man. Yeah, she's the real dude. It didn't take like some, keen eye to see that she was going to be pretty decent once she learned this game back when she was on Tough, dude. But man, this is pretty good, pretty fast. So yeah, I don't see why she's not competing for a title like really soon.
Nushan, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Do you think she's a fight away, 2 fights away? What do you think?
I mean, I would have to say she's 1 fight away. Carla just went to a split decision with Claudia, so she's right there. Who does she fight next? I don't know. We'll talk about another contender at that weight that's kind of got a couple beatings recently. So I don't know if you're gonna match her up against the koala bear. So
Nope.
I don't know who you match her up with. It's kind of tough. All the top females kind of have lost recently. That where she's kind of close to. So yeah, I guess you put her against Gadelia. Like,
Bingo. Correct answer.
That's gonna be a tough matchup for her. Like, I think she can take down Claudia. Yeah, like I don't know if Suarez can really lose to anybody here. Like, she is so dominant of a wrestler. Like, if she got a title shot right now, I would favor her over Rose. I don't think.
Would you favor over Andrade? That is the question.
Yeah, that's a bit tougher.
That's the fight. That's the fight, man.
There we go. Let's not give too many chips away.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the interesting one.
Yep.
Pay-per-view. This is the one fight I didn't see, but it looked like it was fun while it lasted. Abdul Razak, Bobby Razak's cousin, Al Hassan, once again. Is he undefeated in the UFC? Beating Nico Price inside of round 1. The color me's a little bit surprised. I thought Nico would put up a little more than he did, but when you get hit with those hands, you get hit with those hands. I mean, that's how it works. Wes, how good was it?
Yeah. I mean, I think we actually kind of downplayed Al Hassan in this fight, honestly. I mean, I bet I had fight inside the distance. I think that was one of the easier bets on the card. But I put a small bet on Al Hassan, man. But, man, going back and thinking about it, hindsight, still, like, Nico Price, he ain't that good. I mean, he's, like, he eked out some wins, and Hassan literally is, man, that dude's got an 18-inch piece, man. Like, come on, dude. That just wasn't even close, man. These guys are on 2 different levels on the feet. And Nico Price in there throwing like some dumb shit, like he's in a bar fight, and literally just gets slick, dude. Yeah, Alison's pretty decent, man. I mean, he's gonna have to fight some tougher guys, but man, if that guy hits you, dude, it's lights out, man. Yeah.
Nushan, I'll get to you on the next bout. Let's move up. I'm going to have to eat crow here, I think. I was touting good old John Dodson. Not like he really lost this fight. I don't really feel like anybody won this fight. I feel like we all lost because, unfortunately, it kind of became a bit of a staring contest. There were some punches thrown, but really nothing of substance. And Rivera, kind of wins on moving his arms a bit more. Nushan, agreed?
Yeah, just a throwback. Al Hassan's lost to Omari Akhmedov by split decision. That's his only loss. Yeah, this is what you got to worry about with John Dodson. He had issues with this as a flyweight. He just is not active enough. He doesn't throw enough, and in close fights, a guy's coming forward and throwing a bit more. He's going to edge those rounds. That's why I was a bit more down on him than you guys were last week. And he just doesn't seem to have the power at bantamweight to kind of stamp rounds or sway around like he could at flyweight. So Jimmy Rivera, I thought looked pretty good. He looked quick in there, especially when with a fast guy like Dodson. So yeah, it's a decent win for Rivera. Not a bad comeback after getting flatlined. So I guess we'll see what comes of it after this.
Fair enough. Yeah, not much else to say there. Definitely the low light of the pay-per-view card. I know Wes is going to want to talk about this one a bit. His boy, he's feeling the Russian love. Boy Zabit, he saw a pretty sweet submission on the preliminary card. He's like, you know what? I'm going to try that too. Submits Brandon Davis by knee bar. First time in UFC history, 2 knee bars on the same card. Wes, thoughts on this bout? And tell me, where do you rank Zabit currently in the featherweight division? Give me a number.
Well, as far as the fight, I talked about Davis earlier taking it early, but man, I thought that Zabit's knee bar was better than Aljo's because
it was cool.
The way Zabit set his up and reversed and came up, that was just like it was special to watch, man. That dude is he's something else, man. And I thought he started a little slow actually in the fight, and I guess changing opponents and shit and all that would do it to you a little bit, but. Yeah, still, man, that was incredible. And I don't know as far as ring. Hold on, let me. I need to bring up. He's got to be.
I'll give you the top 5 right now. Max Holloway's champ. Ryan Ortega 1, Aldo 2, Edgar 3, Moicano 4, Mendez 5.
You know what? UFC.
He's top
has
5.
Him ranked. You know where they have him ranked?
12, 13. Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, I'm right on that.
That's because they haven't updated it since then, right?
No, it's updated. He's up 1 spot.
Really? Oh, my goodness, really?
I think it's updated today. Wednesday, September 12th, it looks like.
Oh, my God.
They moved up Aljo 1 spot. I'm looking at what else we got here. They moved up Conor Suarez 5 spots. Yep, this is updated. 5 spots up to number 4 in the strawweight division. Yeah, that's about bad of a ranking as there is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. They have Josh Emmett and Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stevens and how is Chan Sung Jung ranked above Zabit? Get the fuck out of here. That's incredible. He's only 1 spot above Yair. Yair got cut. Ain't even fought back in the UFC yet. He's 1 spot ahead of Yair. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's not right. I would favor him over about 10 of these guys, I think.
I would favor him over pretty much anybody outside the top 4. Ortega, Max Ortega, Aldo, Edgar maybe, and then him and Moicano. He can beat Moicano. He could beat Edgar. That'd be a tough out, but he's right there, right? He's got a shot against any of those guys, right?
I think so. Sometimes you gotta wonder. What are we ranking on?
They're basically just going by results. They're not going by.
There's no potential. There's no ability.
To these rankers, you gotta beat somebody in the top 5 to be in the top 5. That's basically what it comes down to, or top 10 to be in the top 10. But whatever. We know what it is.
Mac and Cheese is rated below Vic in the rankings. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. I had a pet peeve about that. Maybe our favorite moment of the card. Well, second favorite moment. We had them back to back. Jessica Andrade with a rare standing KO knockout over the koala bear, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, first round. Surefire, next one up to face Namajunas.
Yes, sir.
Wes, how exciting was this for you?
Dude, that was to me, that was Tyson-esque type shit, dude. Just that come up and boom, death, completely folded. That nobody that size and fighting hits like her, male or female. Nobody 115 pounds.
Oh well,
I don't even.
Lineker's 130.
Yeah.
You can even go up to 125, dude. There's not a lot of 125ers that's hitting like her. That's insane, man. And that's a draw. Like that stuff right there is a draw. I don't care if it's a woman's fighter, a 115er, or a 185er. You knock people out like that, people want to watch you fight. And man, she's awesome, dude. She's the female Lineker, man. Like straight up, she's one of the most funnest fighters there is to watch, dude. Man, Carolina just might be a little bit. She's a little bit overrated too, man. I mean, she's been hyped up for a couple years now, and she's not what everybody wants her to be. I don't want to say it's like a Paige Van Zandt situation because I think
it's not.
She's a little more talented than that, but she's not a top 2 or 3 fighter in that weight. It's not true.
New Sean, what do you think about Wes's comments about her?
I love it, man. I had Jessica Andrade by TKO at plus 500 for half a U, so I like that result. You don't see 115-pound girls put chicks clean out like that. It was, for a guy who shits on the women's division.
That's not very nice.
I love Jessica Andrade. I love the way she fights. She throws with heat. She doesn't give a fuck. She'll take punches and she switches it up. She'll throw to the body. She'll throw to the head. Like she's an actual real striker. And man, is she fun to watch. That whole fight, it lasted 2 minutes, and it was fun as hell for the whole 2 minutes. Her versus Rose is going to be an awesome fight.
I don't think it's going to be that awesome, but I have an idea of what the result's going to be, and I'm looking forward to it. I will say this about Carolina. I think it's pretty clear what she is. She's a volume striker that doesn't have power, that can beat fighters that do not have power in their game or are not, heavy, wrestling centric fighters.
Wrestlers, yeah.
That's what that's a better word. Elite wrestlers, exactly. She struggles against those types and against other fighters where it becomes kind of a volume contest. She's really good. And she was able to beat kind of lower tier fighters in Invicta. She had some success. I think she beat Rose, right? Before Rose kind of learned to utilize the grappling more, and kind of worked on her striking. But yeah, that's kind of the verdict. And now you're kind of seeing her against these top tier fighters once this division kind of figured itself out. And she's kind of suffering, in that regard. And she's not a top 5 fighter. Plus she does turn 33 this fall. So, it is what it is. I mean, the reality is she's only lost to Joanna, Claudia, and Jessica Andrade. You can make a case that they're 3 of the top maybe 4 fighters in the division. To be fair, but I mean, she does have a split decision victory over Felice Herrig, which was pretty close. And she hasn't finished a fighter since something called Jasminka Sieve at KSW back in 2014. I mean, she only has 3.
That's not a thing, Jay. Sorry.
Yeah, not a thing. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. And then, of course, our main event: Tyron Woodley, Darce choke, Darren Till, bang bang. Twitter nerds lose again, 0-2 in 2 events. It's a great thing. Wes, I don't know how much you really want to talk about this more, but I'm sure you're pretty happy about it.
Yeah. Well, for that fight, do y'all want to say anything about them stripping that fake belt from?
What was that all about?
From old girl,
Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about Shevchenko and our missing bet again.
She never should have been champion in the first place.
I mean, it's
you know what? That's another problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
stupidity.
Like I get the whole situation, but it still irks me to death that there's people that say she's like scared to fight and shit. It's like
I don't care about that. You got to show up. If you're the champ. You're holding.
Yeah, oh yeah. She should have lost that. Yeah, she should have lost that belt.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, they absolutely should have stripped her. Yeah, you got to defend that belt.
Yep.
I'm totally cool with that. I mean, they shouldn't even probably make Shevchenko fight for it. They should probably just hand it to her. I mean, they handed Rousey a belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, hand her a belt.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah, they did.
I thought Rousey had to fight Carmouche for the belt.
No. No, she was given.
No.
So that was the low. Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Her and Aldo were the only ones that were given belts.
Which I don't
Yeah,
like.
they did.
I mean, in boxing, if you show up right and you miss weight, the belt goes vacant, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. They didn't. They had to take that belt. I mean, they had to strip her. I don't like people saying she was scared. I mean, she literally got sick, couldn't wait. But that's on her. You know, you got to show up. Yep. Like Sean said, you got to be professional and ready to go. But I mean, God, like she was going to get mauled, dude. Like this, it's on the same level, and our bet was going to cash. Yeah. That was going to be better. Like absolutely. Oh, wow. Yeah, and then man, main event. All I got to say is just go look at those pics of Till's face when he's getting choked.
Looks like trail.
And it's like, man, just because you can cut a lot of weight and make it down to a certain weight class, like that doesn't make you good. Just because you got a size advantage over a guy and shit, it doesn't make you good. Like we saw Till's problems against Stephen Thompson. I mean, the guy hits hard. He's got some decent striking, but his footwork is bad. He literally does not move his head. His chin is straight up in the air.
There's no volume either.
I mean, he's not a really good fighter at this point, man. And I never got the hype, man. I mean, you knocking out a cowboy there's cowboys that show up to take checks, and there's cowboys in certain situations that you know he's showing up to fight. Yancy Medeiros in Austin, Cowboys ready to show up and whoop on some scrub. Cowboy going over there to fight Till, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cowboy showing up to get a check. I never got the Till's the next champ and the savior of this division and all that.
No,
that was insane. And even if you thought he was that good, like, Woodley is for real. I mean, it's time to give the guys due. I mean, that guy is a really, really good fighter, man. However you think about it, I know Stephen Thompson got him into some boring fights, but before then, I mean, Woodley's been in some really good fights, man, exciting fights. And thanks Twitter nerds. Woodley at plus 125 against Darren Till will go down as one of the craziest lines ever, dude. A welterweight champion that had defended and beat some of the better guys in the division was plus 125 against an unproven fucking British dude. Like, get the fuck.
Yeah, that was just brutal. I think Woodley's like terrible fights before this helped the line. Guys are just didn't want to bet on him. They bet on Darren Till because they're like, oh, Darren Till should finish him. He's got wicked striking, and Woodley can't hit or can't do anything. So I think that helped us out as well. But yeah,
plus people don't like Woodley.
Yeah, nobody likes Woodley, so all these things were just perfect to be able to capitalize. So
in his face when he won, put the belt on him. That's one of the best things ever.
And then, like, you got a British guy. He can't wrestle. Like, oh my god, I still can't believe this line.
He got Darce choked by Woodley.
He had no idea it was coming. He had no idea it was coming. Like,
he really had no idea.
No.
He was mookie
as fuck. So, yeah, we'll take it. Big hit for me. I ended up 4 units on the card. I'll take that all day.
Yay. That does it for the pay-per-view card. We got I've been looking forward to for quite a while.
Moscow.
What?
They're in Russia, baby. We've been talking about this one for a while, dude.
Yeah, they're finally going to Russia.
We got Russia. You know it's going to be violent. You maybe don't have the top-tier matchups that we thought we'd saw, but there's going to be a ton of showcases. It's going to be fun. And I guarantee it's going to be a great atmosphere. And it's fun to watch fights in the afternoon as opposed to, a midnight or something, and you just want it to end. So, going to be fun. First fight up, this should be a grinder. We got Merab Dvalishvili taking on Tyrion Ware. Wes, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dashvili, he's ran into a couple of tough guys his first couple fights in the UFC. I mean, Frankie Saenz is tough out. I think we've all bet on him a couple of times, and then Ricky Simon ended up being pretty damn good. Man, Tyrion Ware's a really tough guy. I can't see him. I can't see him taking the pressure that's going to be put on him here. And I don't know if Dashvili's going to get a finish here, but I think he's going to win this fight pretty easily.
What do you think? Nushan, what do you think?
I mean, you talk about guys that have faced tough competition. Ware had to fight Stamen, O'Malley, and Duquesnoy. That's the three guys he's fought in the UFC. He's lost all three.
And almost won a few of those fights.
Yeah, so both guys have had to fight tough guys in the UFC. I don't know what either of these guys did to Dana, but I don't know. This fight seems like it's closer than what the odds say. I mean, it's ballooned. It's up to Dvalishvili's up to minus 550. I feel like I got to pick Ware just in Tout Master. He's plus 425. Him by decision plus 643. I might be throwing half unit on that by decision. Tyrion Ware by decision just for something to do. You know, that's a big number. I'm a sucker. I'm starting to be a sucker for big numbers.
Don't be messing with my mind and shit about Tout Master right now, dude. I'm locked in a group, man.
Hey, our boy Wes is up there.
Points.
He's in fourth.
4 points out of
Wes got a special shout out in this week's Tout Master article.
Nice.
I don't know if I don't think it's yet, but it's coming.
Oh shit, it's coming, boys. Hey, dude, I'm pretty shocked that I'm up that high. Honestly, I'm pretty.
It's not easy. It's not an easy contest.
The points in the top like 6 or 7 really hadn't started changing till about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now like the guy that was in top is starting to slip up bad, man. I think the pressure got to him. He's starting to slip up bad.
A lot of events left, though. Got about a dozen left. So about, what is that, 100, 150 fights to go.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot. And all it takes is one fucking plus 500 or something to hit, and that changes fucking everything, man. It shit's so close. 4 or 5 point swing is everything. It could be 5, 6 spots.
And this is the type of fight card where if with the odds where they are, there could be some Snoop Dogg and dogging, and yeah, someone could have a 20-point event. It wouldn't be a complete shock. But anyway, I got both these guys a C-. I'm with Nushan. I mean, I do think Dvalishvili wins just because of like just his constant, like his motor is awesome, and he's going to try for takedowns over and over and over and over and over. And judges seem to like that. But on the feet, Tyrion Ware is a way better striker. His boxing is really tight. You know, if he's able to stuff takedowns in any capacity, and he did that pretty well in some of his fights against pretty decent comp. You know, he could definitely win this fight. So I'm really surprised at the number. Like I said, I do like the style matchup for Dvalishvili just because it's more of a striker grappler type of thing. But man, this number is definitely out of whack. So I'm kind of with Nushan. I would definitely kind of look towards Ware. You know, for a smaller play, I wouldn't go crazy just because of the style matchup. But this should be way closer than a 5.5 to 1 favorite for Dvalishvili. Next fight up, we got a pretty good fighter returning. Ramazan Mviv taking on Stefan Sekulic. A lot of new guys on this card. A lot of Russians, as you would imagine. Wes, your turn.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of this other cat, man. I mean, he's fighting something called Serbian Battle Championship and shit. I haven't seen much of him. But I mean, I think Amiv, dude, is pretty good. We've seen a little bit of him. He got a really tough decision against a guy that's a tough out for everybody in Sam Alvey, and then another pretty decent unanimous decision against Alberto Mina. I mean, I think you got to like him going into this fight, fighting over in Russia, man. And I just the competition different here has got to be a pretty big gap here. So I think this fight doesn't go to the decision. I think that's a pretty safe bet. So want to look at something on either side, or maybe fight going inside the distance, that's probably the way to go here. And I'll be going that way in this fight. I think one of us talk about it here soon.
New Sean.
Yeah, right there with Wes. Obviously, haven't watched much on old Sekulic. I don't know if he owned I don't know if he owned Serbian Battle Championships, but he literally fought on almost every single frickin' card. From
He's the only fighter from Serbia.
From SBC 2 all the way up to SBC 16, where he fought his last fight. He only missed one
11
card. So I don't know if he owned it or what.
He was the show.
Yeah, he was the show. He owned it. He was setting himself up against some shitty fighters. I don't know, but Amiv, I believe, is a much better fighter. That's no shock. I mean, you look at the odds right now. His boxing is very clean. He looks very confident in his last two fights. He beat Alberto Mina, which that was his first loss in his career. He beat Sam Alvey pretty good. And yeah, I think he finishes this guy. I know his last three fights have gone to decision, but Alberto Mina and Sam Alvey are both really tough guys. He cracked both of them really good, and I don't think this Sekulic guy can take those shots. So I played Fight Doesn't Go to Decision when it was plus 155. And I just played Amiv inside the distance at plus 215.
Yeah, this should. Amiv is a really good fighter. Tape on him suggests that really competent striker, can grapple. Very comfortable in the cage. Accurate, powerful. Fought pretty good comp. He's facing now a guy in Sekulic who's, kind of beat up on guys. Like 2 fights ago, he faced a guy who was 32 and 31 at the time. I mean, come on now, that's ridiculous. A 1-1 guy 2 fights before that. He has 2 losses in his career, both by one's by leg injury, one's to David Zawada, who's the best fighter he ever fought, and he got KO'd by Zawada. Zawada fought in the UFC not too long ago. It wasn't very good, in my opinion. A little bit of a grinder, but that's about it. So I think there's an opportunity here with Mviv. Because he didn't get finishes in those early fights in the UFC when he faced tougher competition. Now he's facing a step down in competition, and he's fighting in Russia too, which should really help against a Serbian guy. The Russians going to want to root against those Serbian dudes. So crowd's really going to be roaring for him to get the finish. So I like Emiv here. I think he wins by KO as well, and I think that's one of the better plays on the card at. Would you say plus 215, new Sean?
Yeah, plus 214, actually. It's kind of a weird
plus
number.
Plus 214. It is a weird number. So that's going to be a consensus bet for us. We're taking the opportunity here. We think this is kind of like that plant that you kind of grow, and this is the chance to kind of hit on a number that really shouldn't be here. So half a unit on Mviv inside distance at plus 214. Next fight up on the card. This should be a good one. Jordan Johnson trying to be Stallone going over to Russia, taking on Adam. Adam looks like he's Ilir Latifi's doppelganger, Yandiev. This should be good, Wes. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a ton about Yandiev. I've watched him. I have watched him fight a couple times on M1 Challenge, but I don't really remember him too well.
It's because it was in 2015.
Yeah, it's been a while, and he hasn't fought since that last M1 Challenge fight, and it's been like 3 years now. So I don't really know what to think about him, but I mean, Jordan Johnson should be able to win this fight if nothing stupid happens. I would think. I would think the wrestling is going to let him take this where he wants here. And I mean, this guy Yandiev's nickname is just Beard. I mean, the dude's got to have an IQ of like 12. I mean, just look at this cat. I mean, if nothing stupid happens, this dude's got, gas tank done in a round, and Jordan Johnson just grinding after that, written all over it. So I don't know if I'm going to bet Jordan Johnson here. He's up to like minus 250 now. If I'm looking for a little action, I might put him in a small parlay or something. But the pick's going to be Jordan Johnson for me.
New Sean.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know how you can go against Jordan Johnson in this fight. This guy he's fighting looks an absolute roid rage candidate. There's no his piss has got to be going through that cup.
Ecto cooler.
Yeah, just straight fire. Yandiev hasn't fought since 2015. One thing, Jordan Johnson is dropping down to 185 for the first time, so that could affect his cardio a bit. I'm going a little contrarian on this one. I did play Goes the Distance at plus 215 for half a U. Jordan Johnson really hasn't shown much since coming into the UFC for finishing. Has been to 4 straight decisions. He probably gets one here. I mean, Yandiev, he's going to throw for about 20 seconds and then probably die of exhaustion. So it might be a losing bet, but I just got a feeling on this one. So Johnson's going to win probably by finish, but little shot on Goes the Distance.
Yeah, this is tough to call. Johnson, undefeated still, super big for the weight class, no doubt about that. Striking's a little weird though. Keeps himself a little bit exposed, but he's pretty relentless with the grappling. I think he'd be better in the UFC as a wrestler than he has been, but he's never in too much trouble in his fights, and he tends to get through them. But I mean, this is kind of like a weird challenge. Like, he's kind of a pretty good prospect, and they sent him over to Russia to face kind of this kind of like much shorter dude who's who's super brolic and big. It's interesting. Yandiev seems like a guy who's just like, he just grabs your neck and it's over. Like super strength kind of a situation. So I think this is tricky. I mean, I can't fault someone for playing I don't think you can comfortably bet Jordan Johnson in this bout, be super confident. I think this is definitely, you look at the underdog and maybe you can kind of do something. You'd want to play it by finish on Yandiev if you're going to do it. And that price is, I'm just taking a look here. Yandiev, it's plus 373. Yeah. That's kind of interesting. Not great, but it's okay, again, if that goes over 4-1, I'd be like, okay. I mean, it's not a terrible play. But let's see, though. Let's see. A lot of let's see on this fight card.
He might die of exhaustion after 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's another problem. Valid. Next fight, we got one of the mookiest fighters in the UFC on this card. Magomed Ankalaev taking on Marcin Prachnio, 2 guys who have fought in the UFC before, Wes. Oh, man. Do you really want to talk about this mook?
Well, I'll just say that Ankalaev is the better fighter here. But anybody that taps out that quick with 3 seconds left in a fight to Paul Craig, if you beat on him for 3 rounds, 1 second, I do not trust you at all. No way. I think he wins the fight, but I don't want anything to do with this mook.
New Sean.
Yeah, it's tough to trust a guy that kind of does something like that, a bit of quit there. I mean, he knew how close he was. You just got to go out at that point. There's 1 second left in the fight. If you don't go unconscious, you win, because he dominated that fight. It wasn't as dominating, I guess, as I thought it was until I rewatched it. He definitely was easily beating Paul Craig, but
it was bad.
He wasn't smashing him. He was beating him decisively, but it wasn't a smashing. But Prachnio didn't fare too well against Sam Alvey. He got cracked and then kind of went Terminator and got flatlined and knocked unconscious. So both of these guys,
he ran right in, didn't he?
Oh yeah, hands down, just straight ate it.
That was great.
I think this fight gets a finish likely. That's not a surprise. It's minus 300. So I might just pick Prachnio. Big dog. Don't like seeing a guy quit like that, but Ankalaev probably wins.
Yeah, I think I have to take Ankalaev and probably pick him even in a Tout Master as well. I mean, oh man, I hate doing that because like I was pretty high on a guy like a Luke Sanders, and I think from athletic, I think in ability, I mean, I think he's quite good, but at the same time, yeah, he loses to inferior comp because now it's in his head. He's whatever mental, just kind of has like a black hole there.
Over and over, dude. We see it over and over.
I know, that's the problem. That's why it's hard to back. Like, you can't have any money on Ankalaev just because of that. Like, of that scenario kind of repeating itself. Like, you never know if it was kind of a one-off until it's not a one-off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stay away. But I mean, from what I saw this guy before the UFC and what I saw for the first 14 minutes and 30 seconds of his bout with Paul Craig, the guy's got a lot of talent. I mean, he's a really good grappler. Athletically, he's gifted. Fighting in, again, home country. A lot of factors here that fall into play. But let's see him do it. Let's see him finish finish it. 15 minutes of it, or however long it takes. If the fight's shorter and he gets a finish, get a win first, and then we can start talking about betting you. But until then, you're on the do not bet list. Next fight up, and I think I got something to say about this. One. The return of Mairbek Taisumov. Now, Wes, he's facing off against Des Green. What has Des Green been up to in the last few months? Wes, tell me. Just a brief summary.
Jeremy would be very, very disappointed in the kind of sleep that Des Green's been getting lately. I'll tell you that much. Any man that's not in bed at 6 a.m. or just getting up out of bed at 6 a.m. is not getting the Jeremy level of sleep.
Proper sleep.
Yeah.
Instead he's crashing into vehicles and killing people.
Yeah, man. Woo, shit. Yeah, man. Like, did Des Green really even be over here, still fighting and stuff? Like,
how could he be mentally into this?
You can't, man. There's no way. I
gotta do a little internet research. See what I can find. Is there any updates on this?
Supposedly he went over there. That's the last status update. He is definitely over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's there. He's fighting. Man, you might want to be back at home taking care of whatever's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not just about the people that died and making sure their families and everything are, you've got some legal problems to be thinking about. You might want to start getting with lawyers and getting your defense together already. I mean, I think at best at this point he's going to get some manslaughter charges. No, I mean, he killed some people. I don't know if he fell asleep or was on drugs or drinking or what.
Florida Highway Patrol said Green lost control of his 2011 Dodge Durango on Sunday morning on Interstate 75, veering into the path of a truck with a trailer in the next lane. There was a chain reaction crash involving 3 other vehicles that killed 2 passengers in a different vehicle, while the driver was seriously injured. Green and another driver emerged with only minor injuries. Authorities shut down the freeway. They're investigating why Green lost control of his SUV, and that hasn't. An officer said a smell of cannabis emitted from the vehicle upon contacting Green, who then admitted to having marijuana and mushrooms in the vehicle, which was stuffed in his shoe in 2 separate bags. Green was cited for the marijuana. Oh no, this is from a different incident. 2 weeks before I got.
Yeah, they locked him up right there. Yeah.
2 weeks before that accident, Green was cited for driving with a suspended license and no proof of insurance or a fender bender in Deerfield Beach, Florida, that caused less than $1,000 in damage.
2 weeks before that?
Green was also pulled over by Fort Lauderdale police on April 20th for expired registration tags, and that was when the officer said cannabis emitted from the vehicle.
Jesus. Like
but then admitted to having marijuana and mushrooms in the bag and the shoe in 2 separate bags. Green was cited for the marijuana and expired tags and was ordered to appear in court. When he later failed to appear, a capious warrant was issued for his arrest, but he was able to reverse the order and postpone his appearance until August 30th. Well, it's September 12th, so I don't know what happened.
Because he killed somebody. He fucking killed some people before he got to court.
Well, let's hear more. Green did not respond to a request for comment. Toxicology results for Green's most recent October 29th traffic accident, that's the one where people were killed, will play a much bigger role than his pending citations, a criminal defense attorney told MMA Junkie. The Broward State Attorney's Office, they're going to be more focused on the incident at hand because that's what's relevant. If they want to go after him, they're going to go after him through that.
Jesus. This guy is fighting on Saturday.
They're just waiting on his.
I mean,
they're waiting on a blood test.
You're going to be going to jail.
Like how? Like, and is that not a bad look to be like, instead of like staying home, getting your shit together, you're going to go to Russia and fight while this is like still pending?
Why does the UFC even have him on the roster anymore? I would have cut him immediately.
No judge is going to look favorably on that decision.
Yeah, just
I'll tell you that.
Russian and taking a fight.
Look, he got cited for some things that in other states maybe you wouldn't be cited for, but I mean,
he had
again,
that's a big deal.
Driving under the influence of marijuana it's still illegal. Even though it's legal to smoke weed in some states, it's still illegal to drive under the influence. Yeah, that's still a DUI.
Yeah, that's just like alcohol in that regard.
Well, I mean, it's treated that way. It's not the same as driving, drinking. It's not.
You get what I'm saying, though. Yeah,
but it's treated the exact same way under the law. So I mean, if he comes back and there's going to be marijuana in his system, dude, if it was strong, he's going to get manslaughter. He's in fucking trouble, dude.
Yeah, that's not
that
good.
And he was driving under a suspended license.
Yeah, this dude needs to stop driving, is what we've figured out so
far. I mean, your 2011 Dodge Durango needs to be parked, buddy.
Permanently. So the reason why we bring this up, and I feel like this is the most news we've ever given on this show, is that he's fighting Saturday against Mirbek Taisimov.
An absolute murderer.
And if I were him, I'd be thinking about, fuck, I'm going to be going to jail soon. Fuck, I'm going to be going to jail soon. It's not a good look.
Yeah, not a good mindset to be going to fight Mirbek Taisimov.
Terrible mindset. And he's probably been busy doing lots of other shit instead of just training. This is not good. Wes, can he actually win this fight? I guess I don't see it.
Look, I mean,
stranger things happen.
Yeah, crazy things happen, but I mean, come on now. I mean, Taisimov hasn't fought because he can't really get into a lot of countries, or he would have been mopping somebody up. Des Green taking this fight over on his home turf. When all this stuff going on, I mean, without this stuff going on, Des Green is in tough. You know what I'm saying? With all this stuff going on, I mean, come on, man. I mean, Taizimov's still only like minus 470. He should probably be like way more than
800.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Des Green is still a 2-round fighter. Even when he is good, he's good for a couple of rounds, and the dude hits a fucking wall. Taisimov hits no walls, man. That dude goes through walls. He does not stop. That dude will be all over him for 15 minutes if it goes that long. I don't think so. I think Taisimov gets a finish here. I think it's probably going to be a little later when Des starts to gas. But I mean, how much does Des got in him after all this stuff going on? How much was he training? He still just flew halfway across the world over to Russia. We got to remember that too. Some of these guys are flying halfway across the world. Des is one of them. I think this is going to be bad for Des here, and I'll have Taisimov and some stuff. Still waiting on points handicaps to come out. But I like Taisimov big here. I think he smashes Des Green. Get your shit together, Des.
New Sean. Words of wisdom for Des Green.
Those are some pretty good ones from Wes. I like Taisimov in this matchup, regardless of whatever's going on in Des Green's life. Des Des Green could wrestle, but like Wes said, this guy's a 2-round fighter. He's going to struggle, and Taisumov shown pretty good takedown defense. I don't know if this fight happens, but if it does, I'm fairly confident in Taisumov. I'm going to take him inside the distance. It's like minus 129, 139, something like that. What is it?
Yes.
Yeah, minus 139. I'll take that for a unit, and we'll see if it gets canceled.
He's
Yeah,
over there.
I've made my
They could, just because he's over there, they could still just cancel
Yeah.
the last minute.
I feel like
When all of a
Tyson's
sudden
that bad
people,
luck.
when the media starts asking questions, they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess you can't have this fight going
They
on."
decide to press charges on Friday night or some
Yeah.
shit. It's like, it's time to get back home.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've kind of made my points pretty clear about this one. I got Taisumov a B, Des Green a C minus, and this is just a bad situation for Des Green. Mentally, I see him not being there. I think this is just this might as well be a prison sentence. Taisumov wins. He's going to do so inside the distance. I don't see Des Green having much to offer him on the feet. I think Taisumov hurts him, finishes. Minus 139 for a unit, and that's also a consensus play for us.
Knowing
So
us,
we got the
it'll probably
Tyson-
get canceled.
Yeah, we have a good streak of that going, so yeah, it could be canceled. But next fight up, we gave Des Green way too much time considering the situation. We got Rusty Cables taking on Canadian top 10,
Oh,
Sean?
not a chance.
Agent Johnson.
Canadian
Wes,
about to be fired.
Wes, you go first. And Nushan, you follow up with your Canadian brethren. I will be back momentarily.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they gave Cajun another fight. Right? Like
Well,
you're a little surprised.
I'll tell you why. You continue on. I'll let you know why.
Yeah, well, they don't like this kid. I mean, Jesus Christ! I mean, look at who he's getting, man. I mean, yeah, this is bad for Cajun here, dude. He's gonna get mauled here, dude. I like Rusty Cables quite a bit here. I mean, at home, this is gonna be bad, man. I'm gonna look at. I want to see the points handicap in this one too. I think. They're all going to be juiced, but I think they all get there pretty easily, man. I think we see some 30-26s in some of these rounds, man, of these fights that the chalk is in. I think it's just one of those cards where the big chalk is like, it's going to come through. I just can't see any other way, and this is one of those fights, man. So, yeah, I like Rusty Cables big in this one, and I think he's going to put a beat down on poor Cajun Johnson, who the UFC obviously fucking hates, man.
Yeah, so obviously they're setting up Cajun Johnson with fights that they want him to lose. This is his last fight on his contract, so instead of cutting him early and dealing with that bullshit, they're just gonna let him. They're just gonna run him into just brutal fighters that should smash him. I mean, he got lucky a couple times, so congrats to him.
Yeah,
they're just gonna let him fight out his contract and then just not re-sign him, and then it's just a clean break. They're fine with it. They don't want to get into any more trouble like they did with what's the girl's name that's doing
Leslie Smith.
Yeah, Leslie Smith. So
she stinks.
Yeah, well, they're just letting him fight out his contract. They won't re-sign him, and then it's just a clean break. So that's why they're doing it. As for this fight, yeah, he's gonna get fucked up. Rusty Cables is just gonna dummy this guy. Rusty Cables will be smart to just take him down and mash him on the ground. I think that's what he'll do. Even on the feet, I think he's gonna be able to piece him up a bit. I have Rusty Cables in a big parlay, Chalk City, but I like it. I got him at Will Hill at minus 450 is the price I got Rusty Cables.
I hate this dude. Sean got a Chalk parlay in that I'm literally going to have to play fucking points handicap to get anywhere close to what he got money lines on. Fucking Canadian motherfucker, man. Y'all get to bet at these fucking books.
That
you tell him.
First leg in the parlay.
So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be Rusty Cables' night. I mean, I'm still convinced that this fight's going to go to a decision. I got Cables to C+, Cajun Johnson a C-. And I'm also convinced that any close fight is going to go to any fighter with any sort of Russian lineage. I think it's going to be really biased. We see it in boxing, and we're going to see it in MMA. I am fully confident that's going to be the case. So if you're betting on non-Russian fighters, you better hope they finish, or it's not going to happen. Capel's definitely a way better wrestler rather, on the ground. He's going to have an advantage on the feet. I mean, it's fairly competitive. Cajun Johnson could have his moments, but Rusty Cable is more dynamic, so he'll win this fight. One fight I'm looking forward to a lot coming up on the prelim card, return of Peter Yan, really solid fighter, taking on something called Jinsu's son, Wes. This is going to be, it's just, I don't even know what you want to call it. It's just a mercy. It's just mercy to the gods, right? I mean, it's just, a sacrifice. Sacrifice.
Yeah, this is an absolute sacrifice. You said you're looking forward to this fight. I think we're more looking forward to this fighter. You know what I'm saying? To watching him perform than this fight. But yeah, man, Peter Yan, dude, is he's one of the great, recent UFC signings, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people haven't seen him fight since he got over here because he's on those obscure, a lot of Russian cards over there. But man, he's legit, and he beats guys over in ACB, which is, they have the best of that area, which, we see how good those guys are when they get over in the UFC. Those are the type of guys he's fighting in that promotion. And I mean, unbelievable performance in his first UFC fight. But I mean, I think we all know Ishihara isn't like anything much now. But I mean,
he's
tough to finish. Tough to finish.
Yeah, to still go out there and do what he did. A lot more eyeballs got to see what Peter Yan's all about. And this is a short notice fight, man, for Jinsu's son, man, and he's in tough here, dude. This is another fight that points handicap's going to be really juiced, but it's going to go in my parlay. Yan inside the day, he's going to maul this dude. This is one of the most lopsided fights on the entire card. He's going to maul this guy, Peter Yan, easy.
Sean, is this the most lopsided fight on the card?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Late notice. Jinsu's son is not great from what it looks like. The guy he beat to get a UFC contract, if you even want to call it that. He's lost 3 of his last 4. He's like 37. So, and
beat him a couple years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
This is a tough matchup. Peter Yan should destroy at home and put another highlight reel KO on his reel. I got Peter Yan. I put him in that parlay. I got him at -500.
It's not really a fair line.
No,
I don't even know what to say here. I think this is based. Peter Yan is very similar to. Wait, Jotko's on this card? What are they talking about?
He got pulled.
Why are they posting this?
I don't know. Jotko was supposed to fight Yandiev, and then he pulled out, so Johnson's fighting Yandiev.
Got it. Well, UFC Canada can suck it for posting something so stupid.
Jesus. Don't be following those losers.
Yeah, I should. I see Peter Yan being a lot like Zabit in the fact that he's going to end up in these fights where he's going to be these gigantic favorites because no one's going to want to fight him, and he's going to have a bunch of showcase fights as he kind of moves up the ranking pool, as he continues to just beat up guys. He's really talented. His striking acumen is got to be like an A- level, if not higher. It's super good. So let's see what happens with him. I think he's going to win by KO too. I would be surprised if he didn't. I think -250 inside the distance. He'll run away with this fight, and hopefully he fights someone better his next time out. But I'm really high on him, and looking forward to seeing him fight once again. Prelim main event. We got the return of a Lance special, Clarence Byron Dalloway, taking on something called Khalid Murtazaliev. West, Who is this guy?
Man, I watched him not long ago, but it's another one that it's one of those obscure cards in the morning where I don't really remember much, and I haven't gone back and watched too much of this, so I'm not touching this fight. I think Dalloway's probably going to go over and get marked by this dude. He's going to be roided the fuck out, man. He looks like another one of those motherfuckers. I think Dalloway's going to get knocked out. I'm not touching this fight because I haven't looked at it close enough, but I might try to find a couple of these fights because this guy's only like minus 150 to CB fucking Dalloway over in Russia right now.
Might have bet him inside.
Yeah. I'm going to look at these past couple of fights because, I mean, he's just absolutely – he KO'd a guy in like 29 seconds that was 10-1, and Fight Nights Global is like it's one of the better promotions over there outside of ACB, so and M1. And then he went to a decision with another guy. So I'm going to try to find those fights, man. If he looks halfway competent, dude, I'm going to have to sprinkle on this fucking Russian that looks like he's going to be juiced up over in Russia against fucking half a apple sauce head CB Dalloway.
Yeah, new Sean.
CB's been knocked out pretty brutally 3 of his last 5 fights. I think. I mean, he even won getting knocked the fuck out last time. But,
they got knocked out last time too.
I don't know the guy he's fighting, but I'll assume that the Russian's gonna knock CB Dalloway the fuck out. So I will pick him. No bet though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with what New Sean said. That seems like a pretty plausible strategy here. It's easy to say fade old guy until proven wrong, but kind of want to do that here. So let's go with that. Bye-bye CB. Main card, we got Alexei Kunchenko coming over from N1 as part of that UFC deal with M1, taking on, I don't want to say legendary, but, kind of a, throwback fighter, Thiago Alves from Brazil. Wes, give us your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, man. Pitbull is kind of getting long in the tooth now, man. The guy's been around for quite a while. Man, I think they're kind of. I think Thiago's in the situation here to where he is that guy. He is kind of fringe UFC legend type guy, sort of name that they're taking over here to sacrifice to an M1 champion as part of their little deal, and I think that's what's going to happen, man. I think Kunchenko is gonna fuck Alves up, dude. The guy's a little older, man, but I mean he's pretty damn good from what I've seen of him. He's fought in so many of the M1 shows, dude, and beaten pretty much the better guys over there. So, I think he's gonna finish Thiago here, and he'll be another guy that I'm used to points handicap and look at inside the distance.
New Sean, what do you think?
I've been looking to fade Thiago Alves pretty much any time I can. I missed on the Cote when he beat him. That was pretty surprising, but definitely was on Curtis Millender when he just got starched there. Alves is shot, I believe. Now he's got to go across the world to Russia and fight a undefeated, pretty devastating striker in Kunchenko. This is not going to go well for Thiago Alves. Kunchenko has a shit ton of KOs. Like I said, undefeated, going to be fighting in Russia. This is going to be a beatdown. Alves.
This is going to be bad, dude.
I think Alves might actually retire if it's a bad knockout, I guess maybe he won't, but I don't know. I think he should if he gets flatlined here. I got Kunchenko at minus 400, so not too crazy of a line, but so that three-legged parlay is minus 120 for those big faves. That's
the best bet on the card.
I got 3 units on it, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
That's the best bet on this card, dude. Straight up.
It shouldn't be close. You're right. Thiago is very hittable. He's got a lot of scar tissue, so he cuts open easily, and yeah, he's definitely slowed down. Kind of like a Shogun in that regard. It's kind of slow and plodding at this point, and I mean, obviously he's facing a guy who's pretty old, old hitter, but you know, I think is relatively young in fight years, just because he hasn't, you know, obviously being undefeated, never being knocked out certainly helps, and yeah, I mean, no need to sugarcoat it. I think Kunchenko wins too by knockout, but I don't know. Let's see about the bets. I think, you know, I need to review Kunchenko a little more before I kind of go crazy. 3 fights up, all guys who fought in the UFC before, should be fairly interesting. We got, you know, C-list actor Andrei Arlovsky taking on Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Sharif.
Wes, is this going to be Fatty's going to fatty?
Man.
Woo!
Do you know what the total is in this?
What is it?
Go's decision is minus 140.
Ooh,
Damn, they
choose
done
total.
They done caught up because that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
I think Orlovsky's going to get laid on here, man. I really do. Sharif's he's a pretty good wrestler, man, and he's heavy on top. Orlovsky gets taken down a lot now, man, and when he does, he's just not as active off his back anymore. Like he used to be able to get up and pull, you know, was just dangerous enough to get fights back up, but he's just old now, man. He just lays there. I think that's what's going to happen here. So, yeah, I like old Sharif by decision. I'll probably just play him. Going to play him a little bit straight and probably sprinkle on him by decision.
All right, new Sean.
So Wes is joining every freaking Twitter person in the world on Sharif Abdurrahim.
Oh man, it's just it's not no trap. I'm not selling it for $7.99 or nothing. It's just...
But
are you joining the Twitter nerds?
No, nobody on the old Bet MMA tips or whatever the hell it is taking Arlovsky. So,
New Sean, is this a Twitter nerd? Is this a Twitter nerd?
It's not a main event. It's not a main event, so I don't know if we can go full Twitter nerd. Arlovsky didn't look horrible against Tuivasa. I thought he was just going to get murdered by him. He was able to box a bit, but he lost fairly decisively. Abdurakhimov is so bad, but it is heavyweights, so he probably wins. But
he's not going to stay with Arlovsky though, like Ty Vucin did. There's just no way he's going to be spamming taking.
Yep, but that could make him tired. I think.
Yeah, Arlovsky keeps it up. I think he fucks him up. Yeah, it's standing. It's going to be bad.
It kind of happened with Derek Lewis. He was able to get him down, but wasn't able to do much, and then he kind of gassed. So that took a little bit longer because it was a main event. It went to the 4th round. So maybe Arlovsky can stuff some takedowns. I don't know. It's going to be tough for him, but yeah, you got to pick Abdurakhimov.
Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. I got both the guys. Actually, you know what? I have Arlovsky a C- and Abdurakhimov a D+. Arlovsky has shown that he can kind of compete with higher level fighters. He's obviously faced a ton of them. Abdurakhimov, he had that interesting bout with Derek Lewis, and he's nothing great. Arlovsky could certainly clip him on the feet, but if it goes to the ground for prolonged periods of time, you would think it's going to be Abdurakhimov. So I think this is going to be a pretty close fight. I mean, the line indicates that as well. I'll be a contrarian and just pick Arlovsky, but honestly, I don't know and I don't care.
Fair.
It's
totally fair.
There's way better bets on this card. Co-main event, we got Blockhead taking on the return of Al Capone. Nikita Krylov. What do you got for me? He's back.
Is that the old man off of Family Guy trying to get some kids? That's what it sounds like. Yeah, man. In this fight, I'm a lot of my pick here is I'm gonna bank on that Krylov has gotten better since he left the UFC. Even though I don't think his competition was anything special since he left. But I'm going to bank on that. He's still only 26 years old, and I don't think Blachowicz is like. I don't think he's very like technical, skilled fighter. He does one thing pretty good. I mean, he can bully you up against a cage and hold you there and work you over a little bit. I mean, that's won him some decisions against some pretty decent guys here lately. But I think Krylov is his footwork is very good for a guy's size, and I think if he can stay off the cage and use his footwork, I think he can piece Blachowicz up a little bit. So I'm gonna pick Krylov here. I've seen a few people on Blachowicz. I don't want to say it's MMA Twitter nerds, but there's a couple certain plate of marinated meat that they like to eat, and they're betting Blachowicz and another juju runner, a guy that likes to run a fade, is on him too. So we'll see. I like Krylov though. Small bet, nothing big though.
All right, Nushan, that was colorful. What do you got for us?
Do Russians hate Ukrainians more or Polish people more?
Ukrainians.
Yeah, so
they're out war technically
Right?
for the last 5 years.
I mean, Krylov hasn't been to a decision ever in his career, so I don't think he's going to get fucked over by the judges. Either if it does go to decision, I don't think there's a chance in hell he's going to win. That's going to be a Blachowicz grind session. Krylov didn't look great against Maldonado, if I remember. Maldonado actually kind of pieced him up a tiny bit before.
But Blachowicz didn't look great against Maldonado either when they fought. I think they fought.
Did they?
I think so.
Oh my god, we got to go back, way back.
I think they did.
No, he didn't.
Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, obviously he still did finish Maldonado, so in the end it worked out. Blachowicz kind of he's had a little streak here. I mean, they're not against very good names. Devin Clark.
Oh, I was thinking of the Poker Jack fight. Sorry.
Devin Clark.
Venable was a decent one. That was a decent. That's a decent.
Yeah, that's a decent win. I mean, he avoided the blitz and the knockout, so there's a chance he could do that here. I kind of favor that a bit more. I'm gonna pick Blachowicz, but no bet.
You know what? I don't care who wins this fight. I mean, I will tell you that Krylov is way faster. There's a huge speed advantage, and he's way more dynamic in the striking. I think the most likely thing he's going to finish pretty early. But Nushan alluded to it. Krylov's been in 29 fights, 24 wins, all by finish, 5 losses, all by being finished. This fight goes the distance is minus 210? Or fight doesn't go the distance minus 210?
Fight doesn't go is minus 210.
I like it.
Man.
I like it a lot.
Blachowicz could grind.
Yep, that's his game.
But then Krylov might do nothing, and then he'll get finished.
That's possible. But Blachowicz doesn't have many finishes either, so it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's move on. Main event. This should be fun. This is interesting.
Yeah, this is just a wild fight, man.
I mean, there really is two ways this is going to go.
That's right. That's exactly right, and those props haven't come out yet, but let's talk about it anyway. We got Mark Hunt going up against Mr. Ezekiel Choke himself, Alexei Oleinik, Wes. He's going to get another one, isn't he?
Man, I hope so. I love Mark Hunt, but this old dude that looks
They're
like
old.
he should be.
They're combined.
I mean,
He's fucking 4 years old.
But this cat literally looks like he's selling his own bottled fucking vodka on the side of the road somewhere. Like, he shouldn't be like fighting dudes in a cage and choking them out from his back and shit. Like, it's just, man, I don't know. I'm back and forth on this fight. I don't know. It's hard, man. Like you said, this fight could go one or two ways. Right now, I'm kind of thinking Hunt's going to catch him with something, man. But I don't know. I really don't know who I'm going to pick in this fight. I don't know who I'm going to pick in Top Master. I'm going to wait till the props come out to make a bet. But my initial thought was Olenek is going to get him with a sub. But now I'm leaning. I think Hunt might catch him. I don't know. It's hard. I think it's a kind of hard fight to pick, honestly. Pick is I'm going to go Olenek right now because he's a dog. That could change tomorrow, man. It really could. I think this is just it's a weird fight, man. It really is. It makes no rhyme or reason why this is a main event heavyweight fight, dude, over in the middle of nowhere. It's a weird fight. Probably in Tout Master, you got to take a dog in this situation. So that's how I'm leaning right now.
New Sean.
Yeah, I don't know.
This fight doesn't go the distance. Minus 650.
Yep.
That's like what, like 15, 17%? Like 16% chance that it goes. Plus 420 to go the distance. What is that? Like 23% chance it goes the distance? Like, no way, right? I mean, like, is there any way this fight goes the distance? Like, should it be like minus 2,000? 5 rounds? How?
It doesn't. It's just, is it worth it to lay it just that much to win it? I don't know. We've seen crazy.
You got enough shots to start to throw
crazy things.
Has there?
Derek Lewis and fucking Helgano stared at each other for 3 rounds. Like
Mark Hunt doesn't stare at people.
You just never know, man. You never know.
They're not 40. They're not combined 44 years old.
The curse has been kind of broken.
84. You're 85.
That 5-round main event going the distance curse that was on since Vegas was just brutal. Yeah. It's finally been broken lately.
Thanks to Anthony Smith and a few others, but yeah.
Yeah, this one ain't going to a decision. There's no fucking way.
I don't see it.
No, I don't see it either.
But Alexei Oleinik doesn't have the chin, and if it goes to the ground, Mark Hunt's going to submit him, right, Nushan? Or he's going to be submitted, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as simple as that. I don't know how you can have money on either of these guys. It seems like such a tough fight to call. Like you said, Hunt by KO, Oleinik by sub. If that comes out and you can arb those, I would, because I don't know what other way this is gonna go. I'll pick Mark Hunt to knock him out because that's kind of what I hope happens, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm basically the same way. There are 2 outcomes. That fight doesn't go the distance, doesn't make sense to me. I mean, say it's a big number, but 25 minutes is a long time with the way these 2 guys fight. I don't see it. I think someone might die of a heart attack before any of that happens.
True.
Yeah, so, yeah, if you can arb those 2, that's cool. Fight doesn't go the distance, throw it into some other parlay that you kind of keep doing. I mean, those are the only ways to look at this, and that's it. I mean, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy this fight card. I think during the day I'll be more focused too. Ready to see some destruction. Peter Yan on this ready to
Saturday
see the Lomachenko guy. MEV, a lot of fun here, I think, and it's going to be good. And then I think do we have a fight card next week? I think we do, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, we got to run.
Jimmy Manoa versus Thiago Santos is the main event.
Oh, boo-hoo.
That's going to be destruction, boy.
That's good.
We got a Hellboy on that card. We got Little Nog scheduled.
He's scheduled, but that's
he ain't going to make it. He ain't gonna make it. Get the fuck out of here.
We got Dubra.
Bronx against the parrot from Aladdin. And then we got Grandpa Trinaldo.
Evan Burrell's on this card? He's fighting some dude named Andre Uhl.
You got Maurice and Ben Saunders in a jiu-jitsu battle? That's just fucking sexy.
Eliza Dushku versus Bilal Muhammad.
That's
some
a good one.
Fights on this card, man.
Luis Enrique against Ryan Spahn. That's gonna somebody's getting put to sleep.
Yeah.
You got the return of Chase Sherman going to Brazil. That's gonna be a doozy.
And Augusto Saki. That dude had a pretty good win, didn't he? Let me look at that.
Who, Eliza Dushku?
He beat nobody. He won the Brazilian Contender Series. Wait, I should have spoiled that. I don't know. I think you're thinking of someone else.
Oh man, Ben Saunders against Sergio. Damn.
It's not a bad card.
Augusto Saki's lost to one fighter, and it was Czech Congo by a split decision. That's it. Interesting times.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet almost anybody against Chase Sherman. That dude's a garbage.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty interesting play.
So
good fight card.
does Alvey throw punches and knock out Little Dog?
The fight's not happening, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, dude. There's
I
no
mean, with
way.
that's a lock.
Yeah.
If he gets into the cage,
That's a lock not happening. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I'll be on Alvey pretty good if he makes it to the cage.
Never know.
Yeah.
Never know. But Saturday is going to be a fun day. You got UFC fights during the day, and then Triple G's there, right?
I'll be going out for that.
Hey, I tell y'all what, that Canelo money keeps pouring in.
Love it.
You trust those judges, Wes?
They're not going to fuck it up twice.
They're not. They don't mess with. Last time they got it pretty close, man. I mean, I don't think there was a huge argument with the way the last one went. They usually do fairly well, dude. When they have these kind of fights, man. I just think they piss fucking Triple G off, man, and that's just a murderer that you don't want mad at you too. I think he gets it done, man. That Canelo money coming in too. You might end up getting something around minus 120 or something on.
Oh,
last time I looked, he was minus 140.
We shall see.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. That's one of the biggest fights that you can do in boxing. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Until next week, enjoy the fights.